Have you ever stood near an abandoned railway bridge at night and heard the distant echo of a train that no longer runs? In the heart of California's redwood country, locals swear they still hear the clatter of wheels and the cries of passengers. Victims, they say, of a forgotten tragedy, the Dyerville Train Disaster of 1883. But was it real, or just a ghost story that refuses to die? Let's go back almost a century and a half to a small riverside town called Dyerville, nestled where the two forks of the Eel River meet. In the late 1800s, Dyerville was a booming logging settlement. Trains thundered through its dense forests, carrying timber and travelers along the brand-new Northwestern Pacific Line. But according to whispers that have survived generations, one train never made it to its destination. The story goes that on a foggy autumn night in 1883, a passenger train bound north from San Francisco derailed while crossing the newly built Dyerville Trestle Bridge. The wooden structure, rushed into service to fuel the booming logging trade, couldn't withstand the weight and speed of the locomotive. The bridge collapsed into the cold waters below, sending carriages plunging into the river with a deafening crash. Dozens of passengers were killed instantly. Others drowned, trapped beneath twisted iron and splintered timber. Newspapers from nearby towns reported a night of horror and described rescuers pulling bodies from the Eel River for days. Survivors spoke of screams echoing in the darkness, of lantern lights flickering on the water as search parties worked through the night. It was said that the small town's church bell tolled for hours as names of the dead were read out, a grim roll call of a disaster many believed could have been prevented. The police investigation that followed pointed fingers at the railroad company. Inspectors accused them of cutting corners during construction, warning that the trestle's wooden supports were never strong enough. Families of the victims took their anger to court, filing wrongful death suits that dragged on for years. But like many corporate giants of the era, the railroad escaped serious punishment. Settlements were paid, quiet apologies were made, and the world moved on. Or did it? Locals say something never left that bridge. For decades, travelers along the old Northwestern line reported strange sights. A ghostly train, fully lit, roaring across the abandoned trestle before vanishing into the night. Loggers working nearby told of hearing distant cries when the fog rolled in, cries that sounded eerily like people calling for help from beneath the river. Even today, visitors to the crumbling Dyerville Bridge claim to feel cold gusts of air, as if a phantom locomotive is rushing past them. Historians have long debated whether the disaster ever truly happened. No official railroad records mention a wreck that year. Some researchers believe the tale is a fusion of multiple accidents, including the Tehachapi train crash of 1883, woven together by time and local folklore. Others argue that the railroad might have covered up the incident to avoid financial ruin. And the townspeople? Many still believe the ghosts are proof enough. So was the Dyerville train disaster a real forgotten tragedy, or one of America's most haunting railroad legends? The answer may be buried beneath the waters of the Eel River, along with the truth. One thing is certain: if you ever find yourself near the old Dyerville trestle on a foggy night, and you hear the distant whistle of a train that shouldn't exist, don't look away, because some journeys never truly end.